I don't know exactly where we left off, but as I was saying, and to kind of to coattail on what Russ was saying, regarding EMPs, this, that, and the other. I had thought about that, and not not far fetched to think that, to believe that, or anything. When the next World War does happen, and of course, your Bible in the Book of Revelations talks about that, the great war to end all wars is going to be fought between the eagle and the bear. Well, the eagle is, or not the eagle, but the Bible has been wrong on many occasions, and I think it's going to be wrong on that one too. I don't, it's nothing against it as a firm belief in this, that, and the other, but the fact of the matter is that if when they destroy our tech, I mean, we're done. Like Russ said, I mean, this generation, this future that we are planting to lead us, we are doomed unless we do something. Because I guarantee you, everything that just happened over the past couple weeks is all by design. That thing didn't just fly over those things. Sorry, there was multiples. Didn't just fly over the continental U.S. and within American airspace for nothing, and we just let them go. No, I'm sorry. That smelled south of cheese from the moment I first heard that story.
Yeah. Uh, I was just, it was just one of those things. I was really just, I don't know. I just look at it as how did it get this far? And then why they let it go so long? Like it's just, to me, there's nothing to it but just like Russell said at the beginning, a sleight of hand. I don't know.
I mean,
Uh,
it got this far because it ran with the Gulf Stream. So they caught winds coming over Alaska and North Pole, ran those down through Canada on the backside, and then caught the polar winds coming down. And I mean, the thing went over our country in 4 days. I mean, that's moving pretty good for a balloon.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. But what I'm saying, if we're the country that I thought we were, and that's for next time, J Love. If we're the country that I thought we were, um, we should have caught that thing a long time ago. Like you can't tell me that we don't have spies, people, other places, other things looking out for just that. Hey, there's something funny coming over here. Like, and then this is what tells me there's something going on. There's fish. There was none. They didn't even put fucking candy in that balloon, in that piñata, and that's why it tells me that. But anyway, Donnie, Twitter
Yes, sir.
files, Twitter files. People finding stuff.
Still,
What's new in all this?
New is they're in Congress now, and
Yeah, I'm
and
watching now.
they are raking them over the coals because they said expect arrests. And the arrests are going to come from contempt of courts. You can they're the Republicans are going to go after these people, for lying under oath. They go all the way to Dorsey. I mean, they could literally get Dorsey. He definitely did it. He definitely knew it. So we'll see what happens. It's I'm seeing more and more media that's moving over to that long conversation format or that Substack format where you can get a good opinion. Because right now, if you want to watch a news, let's say you want to watch CNN and you want to catch the news, they're all 30-second to 2-minute blips, and you can't get any information in them. There's sound bites. Oh, they did this.
Right.
Oh, they did that. Where if you want to actually understand it, you got to go onto the web. You're going to have to go to Substack or Twitter or podcast or something like that. But the good news of that is it awakens more people into how bad things really are. So yeah, we'll see. It's there's some more coming out. There'll be another wave on the COVID coming up from what I understand, and we'll see what happens.
To kind of coattail on what Donnie said in regards to that whole COVID thing. Those who know me know it's always been doesn't exist. But I guarantee you here in Texas, and again, I can only speak locally. I can't speak from a Tennessee perspective or anything to that nature. But I guarantee you, Texas will have another outbreak, quote unquote. There'll be another outbreak. There'll be something, and it'll around election, and there'll be something to where Texas is going to have to shut down again. Texas is going to have to go back to mandates. Texas is going to have to go back to following rules, regulations regarding masks, following this, that, and the other. I guarantee you it will happen. And on the Twitter files thing, there is so much, and Donnie follows it more than I do. But there's so much coming out with the Twitter files that whether or not there are going to be arrests. I mean, I've been waiting on arrests for I've been waiting on arrests.
We all have.
And to throw a question in there regarding what we were talking about. Are we going to, could this go back as far as Bush? Could it would definitely go back as far as Obama, because I guarantee you there's a lot of fucking dirt and some stinky pinky on these motherfuckers.
Oh, it'll go further than that. It can go all the way back to JFK and further than that, really. I mean, if you go back and listen to some of the speeches, and some of the exit speeches, and even Nixon meeting with the head of the CIA 4 days after Watergate break-ins and detailing, I know what you did to Kennedy. I'm going to prove it. I'm going to expose it. And then Watergate was already done. He had no idea, and they just blew him out of the water. As soon as he found out, they were like, all right, got to get him. So,
Yeah.
Russ, what you think, Russ? What you think over there down by the river?
Well, I actually just had a thought, and kind of going back to that thing about that fucking balloon, and we're talking about what are they distracting us from? I just thought this. Have y'all heard anything else about the fucking documents at Biden's house? Have you heard anything about that in a week?
Yeah. I mean, they actually raided his beach house as well this week and didn't find any, but they are now looking at every president and figuring out who does and who has.
But I mean, it was all over the news, every channel, and now all we hear is the damn balloon. So, like I said, maybe that's it. But to what you're talking about as far as the Twitter thing, we're not going to see any arrests. We're never going to see a Democrat-backed person get arrested for anything. There's a two-tiered system of justice in this country, and the left controls it. And the Republicans, quite frankly,
Explain that for somebody that's listening that doesn't know two-tiered system.
Well, that's rules for thee and not for me. Pretty simple. If you're a Democrat or you're somebody that's on the left, you don't get the same set of rules. The law doesn't apply to you the same way as it does somebody on the right. And Republicans don't have the balls to go after them like that, to arrest them. They don't have the balls to go and try to impeach a president like the Democrats did 2 times over nothing to Trump. The two-tier justice system, look at Hunter Biden. He's committed so many felonies. Hillary Clinton, thousands of emails, classified information, all this stuff that they get away with. Eric Swalwell banging a Chinese spy. And nothing happens because there's a two-tier justice system. Now, if that would have been Donald Trump Jr. or Ivanka Trump, do you think she would have been arrested? Absolutely.
Sure.
No, there would have been.
Two-tier justice system is the country. The rule of law doesn't apply to the left. They have weaponized the CIA. They have weaponized the FBI. And they have weaponized the federal government, the EPA, the CDC, everything.
Russell, has that only happened since Biden took office?
No.
No.
That's happened pretty much. I think it started probably back in the Clinton years to a
I would go
major.
back as far as Bush 1.
Yeah, maybe Bush won. Because when you have a rhino in there, it's just as bad as having a Democrat. Let's be honest. But it really started to get the ball moving down the hill, and the avalanche started under Obama. Trump came in unexpectedly, tried to push back on it. Look what they did to that man. And now it is they're just doing it with, they've taken the rubber off and they're just cream pieing everybody with it now. And it's, and they're doing it out in the open. They're not even trying to hide what they're doing anymore. It's blatant. So because there's no checks and balances. There's no, the Republicans are going to squawk and have talking points, and we're going to see things on TikTok in the news for sound bites, and that shit's going to happen. Nothing.
It goes back to ability.
So we have to let that shit just implode, J Love? You think we just have to let it implode, or what? What do you do?
Honestly, I think in order, I think, and it's like we've, discussed on this podcast before, I think this nation, it literally has to crumble to its knees in order for us to rebuild. And I think there's going to be a come to Jesus, and there's going to be those that stand, and then those who fold. I think it's going to get to the point to where people, like Donnie had said earlier, that there are so many people waking up that eventually people are going to be so not woke, but beyond fucking pissed off that they can't take no more. And it's going to get going to get nasty. It's going to get bloody. And there's going to be, more than just 8 heads in a duffel bag, not to just throw that old movie out there, but shit's gonna go south, and it's going to get really, really bad for quite a while. But it's going to take the elite, and I don't mean that in the respects of the left, but I mean that from those of us who are, are patriots, and those of us who are true Americans, and those of us who believe in this country, and we love this country, and we bleed for this country. Those of us who have never served before, we've never put on a uniform, and we've never gone and saw shit that so many others will never ever see in their life. But there's those of us who have been on the homeland from the very beginning, and we love what this country is. We love what this country stands for, and there's going to be a great awakening is what's going to happen, and it's not going to be pretty. I don't know any other way to say it. It's not going to be pretty.
So Donnie, what he says this, you guys are saying all this, a great awakening. It's good. We're going to come down, crumble to our knees. It sounds to me like those people that are doing that, Sodom and Gomorrah, let's just take that for instance.
Okay.
That went down, that crumbled to the ground. Not around it, nothing around. It's just who were in the middle. Now, are you talking about that, or is it because these people are doing this around me, it's going to affect me and my livelihood?
Well, look at it this way. All major civilizations that have existed throughout the history of the U.S. have crumbled at some point in time. We do not have the Roman Empire like we used to. We do not have the Genghis Khan destiny. We do not have the Huns. We do not have Mao's empire. They all crumble for one reason or another. Usually that degradation starts with morals, which is where we're at right now. We have zero morals going forward on a lot of different issues. So that crumbling can be on top of us, or it can be around us. And it could be global. It could affect multiple countries. I mean, it could affect the U.S. because we are the true only superpower. And not because we have more nukes than somebody, but because we control so much food. And people don't catch that. People don't realize that we just stop sending food overseas and people die. Like, they starve. That's a big thing. Then they got to come over here to get it. So will that happen? I don't know. I mean, that's going to be the big question is, do our morals take a comeback and boot the kind of hardcore left out, or at least rationalize them and push them closer to the middle? Or does everything fall apart and we go into World War III and chaos and all the others? So I think it could do either one. I think it could fall down on top of us, or it could fall down around us.
Okay, so let me ask you guys this. Russell, I'll go to you with this, and I want to hear everything, all of you guys. I did a podcast with Tristan, and this came up, and I said, you know what? If I had to now, there's no way I would let my daughter go to college. I wouldn't go to college. I wouldn't let anybody that I know go to a university. I don't care where, when, where, or how. I think if we had this reset, I mean, whatever the case may be, go back to the way I was brought up, hauling hay at 10, 11, 12 years old, driving a deuce and a half at 12. Me and a buddy doing that work for my dad, paying a wetback a penny a bale. We were making 6 cents a bale, going back and working like that, knowing what it is. The Great Reset, something like that. I mean, do you think it would come down to something like that? Or this is just going to be World War III, everything's going to be zapped, and we're going to just start all over? Russ?
Well, I'll just say this: if we do end up in World War III, there's only one option, and that's for it to go nuclear, and that's the demise of all the civilized world. So none of us will be having this conversation if that truly does happen.
Yeah, that's a grand reset. Yeah.
So there'll be parts of the world that are spared, but as far as the Great Reset, it's going to take something really, really major for people to put their priorities in line and understand that these things that we talked about the other day on the last podcast about first world problems, when you got to worry about food and you got to worry about getting eat and water, you're not really worried about whether your neighbor is a boy that got boobs put on him. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I don't know.
I got it.
The Great Reset, if we do end up going into World War III, we're all done.
Okay.
They're done. It's just, it's over. In the fall,
let me ask you this, J Love.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking, I mean, this podcast right now is, if I was listening, I would be sad, down in the dumps. This is like as low as we could get. How bad is it going to get? And what do I have to be ready for with everything you're talking about? What should we be ready for within the next 5-10 years?
Well, first off, I would just say get over yourself, but you should always be ready, regardless.
For what?
For what? I've lived by that. I mean, my last career, I spent, over 20 years doing what I did, and it was just, eventually it just became a part of who I was. And just always be ready. I mean, because you never know what's around the corner. You never know who's around the corner. I mean, you could go to the ice cream parlor with your daughter, sit down in a booth, and then you survey the land, and yeah, it looks calm and peaceful, but there's no telling what could pop off. You always have to throw in that what if. And
and I guess I'm nailing it down to politically and where this country's going politically, because that's our main topic of conversation.
I think there will be a turn. In fact, I know that there will be a turn. I know that there will be a turn for the better. It's not going to happen overnight, and it's going to take some time. I do think that coming in, the next election, come 2024, it's not going to be who everyone thinks that it is. It's not going to happen that way. I mean, I'm going to throw it out here that it's going to be Trump and DeSantis. It's not going head to head, because DeSantis doesn't have the nutsack to, on a national level, to be. He doesn't have the thick skin yet, but it's going to be a Trump DeSantis ticket. They're going to run together, and
Okay.
I think a lot of things are gonna happen. I think a lot of things are going to be exposed, and as much as I think everyone on this podcast, as well as everyone listening, wants to see arrests, sadly, it's not going to happen. I mean, for God's sake, Ghislaine Maxwell's statement. It's a 2023-page statement on everything that went down on Epstein Island is available for everyone's viewing pleasure. Nobody's talking about that.
All right.
The Epstein list, nobody's talking about that. Everything that happened at the Grammys just a couple days ago, everybody's talking about that because it's the
Yeah, we're gonna get on that after the FMK. The Grammy thing. Because we saw this governor. She's all excited about it. Donnie, let me ask you this: what should I be worried about? Everything we're talking about, we got people that are listening. We probably made them nervous. They're scared. What the hell should we be ready for when this shit goes down? Give me something really quick so we can get on to something fun.
I don't think you worry about anything. I think you try to be objective and look at, where the country's going, and is that really the direction that you think it is? And if it's not, then you talk about it. You open up discussions, especially with people that do need their minds changed, or your senator, your congressman, your local representatives. Hey, I'm not for this.
Right.
That's what you have to do, because worrying about it's not going to make it any better. Like,
I guess what I'm saying is, should I build a bunker? Should I have
no, it's too
provisions
late for
ready and get
it's too late
psycho
for
like
that.
we did in the 60s?
If you didn't,
here's some good quick tips. Don't
Yeah.
go to bed without a full tank of gas. Make sure that you have a plan in case things go south to get somewhere that is safer
Mm-hmm.
and out of a city,
Mm-hmm.
preferably. And then make sure that you have enough to eat for, a few weeks. I usually meal prep for at least a week, and then I've got, canned goods for a month. But I say a few weeks just because if it's worse than that, you're going to have to live off the land, and that's something that you can't prepare for tomorrow.
Yeah. Hey, everybody listening, thank you for listening. Again, you can catch us on YouTube. Make sure you go to YouTube and like, share, and follow us. It doesn't cost you anything. Subscribe to our channel. It doesn't cost you anything, and then share it with others. But I want some more comments. Let us know what you think about this stuff. Again, these are just opinions. We don't know. We're not in Congress. We're not in the military. We don't know what's going on, but we read and we look and we search and we all this other stuff. So again, this is just opinion. We're just spitballing. We're out here drinking, smoking, dipping, whatever, and giving our go to it. And we want to hear your comments also. Saying that, I think it's time, gentlemen, to relax, kick back, and do a little FMK for the night. Russell, what do you got, buddy?
All right. Tonight, we've got 90s movie stars. We're going to start off with the lovely Sharon Stone, Diane Lane, and Jennifer Connelly. And if you don't know who Jennifer Connelly is, just do a quick Google. But she's a dime.
of her riding on the horse in the Target.
Yes.
All right, say it again.
We got Sharon Stone, Diane Lane, and Jennifer Connelly.
Okay, I'll go. Kill Conley. fuck Lane, and I'm going to stick with Sharon Stone my entire life because I grew up with her. The cooter shot and all that, I just cannot, and I will not, and she will be with me the rest of my entire life. Next.
I've got opposite there. I'm going to kill Stone because that bitch is crazy. I'm going to fuck, and I'm definitely going to marry Diane Lane. I mean, I fell in love with that chick from The Outsiders. And then
Great movie.
But then, of course, in Unfaithful, she was, ooh.
Yeah.
Great movie. Yeah. Donnie?
I'm going in a little different direction. I'm actually killing Jennifer Lane. She was never that for me. Just wasn't. I'm gonna bang Sharon Stone because, you know, Casino and Total Recall and Basic Instinct, Specialist. I just think she's had too much dick, so I don't want to marry her. And then I'm gonna marry Jennifer Connelly.
I don't know if it's too much dick or if too many STDs.
I don't know. I don't want to take the chance.
Russell.
All right, so I'm gonna be kind of similar to Donnie, but I'm gonna kill Sharon Stone, just simply because as hot as she was in Casino, at the end of that movie, how bad she looked when she was cracked. I just can't ever get that visual out of my head. So I'm gonna have to kill her. As beautiful as I'm gonna bang Diane Lane. And I'm gonna marry Jennifer Connelly because she's just a absolute beauty. And if you hadn't seen her in her latest movie, she's in that Top Gun Maverick movie as the bartender. She's still gorgeous in her 50s. So
yep.
I'm in.
Really?
Yep.
Yep.
Astro, I haven't seen that movie, by the way.
Very good. As much as I can stand Tom Cruise. Very good.
Oh, Tom Cruise, whatever on that. Dude, let's go. So the Grammys, I thought I saved this TikTok. I wanted y'all to hear this this damn TikTok of this lady going nuts saying that because of the Grammys and how it went down, that now the left is completely in charge and the right wing is scrambling because they saw a transgender win something. It was so weird listening to it. But she's like, you know, we won. The left side won. If you look at the Grammys, all the black people, all the transgender, all this and that, it's all over it. I mean, what? I don't understand. Oh shit! Thank you. Here we go.
What did they win?
Hold on a minute.
They didn't win a fight.
It's all pretentious trash IMO. Women like this have lost the plot. This is not America.
The American right has turned into its latest anti-wokeness boogeyman: diversity, equity, and inclusion. The show opened with Puerto Rican singer Bad Bunny singing 99% in Spanish. Then host Trevor Noah walked and talked through a room that was diversity, equity, and inclusion in human form. The first country Americana artist to perform, Brandi Carlile, was introduced by her wife and daughters. We saw the first trans artist win a Grammy, Kim Petras, who has a hit song with Sam Smith, the British singer who came out in 2019 as non-binary. Black acting superstar Viola Davis became an EGOT, winning a Grammy to add to her Golden Globe, Oscar, and Tony Awards. Lizzo performed with her amazing choir of many-sized singers. The culture wars are over, and the left won, like total defeat. I can only imagine the heads exploding in red states. I imagine Ron DeSantis is somewhere stalking through his governor's mansion, trying to figure out how to ban the airing of the Grammys in Florida and take away CBS's tax exemptions. No educational value, queer theory, black music. It's a helpful reminder.
That's so dumb. That is so dumb. You
That's-
won in your own arena with no competition. I mean, how did you win anything? Like, this is Hollywood. It's what they're promoting. It's what they've been promoting. You didn't win anything. Everything was rigged. I mean,
Yeah.
Beyonce winning, if you look at the video, Jack Harlow's behind her and he goes, yeah, they bought that. Jay-Z bought that for her. Like, you can see him mouth it. And, you know, the Harry Styles stuff that, I don't know. I've seen a lot of it and it was just like, yeah, this was scripted. I mean, this was totally scripted. They don't,
Well, isn't it
it
just
was
like,
designed for maximum exposure.
isn't it just like the KKK having a meeting? You're just gonna invite people that have white hoods and capes. Go ahead, J
I
Love.
mean, you invite everybody, but then you tell people that the winners are the ones that you want. So it wasn't based on sales or records played or, yeah, it was based on some woke people in a closet. Who
Yeah.
cares?
I mean, just a select few, honestly. And
Yeah.
it goes exactly like with what Donnie was saying about, Jay-Z buying that for Beyonce. It goes back to that fucking, that video I posted to our thread, the lead singer of the Imagine Dragons, which I can't
Yes.
fuckers. But at the same time, he's coming out about, the Illuminati is real and everything going on. It's happening, but everyone's afraid to speak out about it.
Cat Williams did the same thing, bud. Yeah.
Yeah, and the fact of the matter is, I kind of like what I posted on Facebook, not just on the Grammys, but I posted on Facebook in regards to the paper president. The fact of the matter, it's one and the same. It's all fake. It's all bullshit. And none of it. And those of you who tuned in, I mean, you're part of the problem. Yeah, you are part of the problem. If you tuned into that bullshit, it's absolutely ridiculous. I didn't even know that it was fucking on. And then two, I'm seeing all these pictures pop up on my feed with Lizzo. God bless her soul, but she looks like a fucking a rotten ass banana that just needs to be thrown away in that fucking outfit. Because there was one that I showed that popped up on my feed and it said, "Caption this," and it was her in all of her glory in this yellow, barely covering anything, but then at the same covering shit. But at the same time, it's like you need to be taken out back and shot and just whatever.
Hey, Russell, blow this open for us. Go ahead.
Well,
Talk to us
first
about this.
theory, I think maybe that the Chinese spy balloon might have just been Lizzo flying a single engine Cessna. I think that could be another answer that we have.
Probably
The
take more than
compass of this country, by these people live in a bubble, right? They're rich, they're famous. They think all this stuff is so important, but what's really important is for the Grammys, for the Oscars, for the Golden Globes, for all these award shows are at historic lows. More people watch a WNBA game now than watch the Grammys. Nobody watches this shit. And they're just, when you're talking about, oh, we won. Well, you like Donnie said, you won against nobody. You run a hose basically. Hollywood is a cesspool of pedophilia, devil worship, and it is the modern day Sodom and Gomorrah. There is no moral compass whatsoever, and the basis for winning an award is you're Latino, you're black, you're fat, you're gay, you're lesbian, you're trans. That's their only. There's not even an award show. Like you said, they bought. When's the last time Beyonce had a song you can remember as a hit in the last 10 years? I can't think of anything. But it's they haven't won shit, and the pushback and the ratings. I think the ratings have been. I saw the other day the steady decline over the last 10 years, and it's the saying. Even Trump says it. If you go woke, you go broke, and eventually people are going to stop completely watching it, and maybe that's the reset that we need. Is this stuff make money anymore? Sam Smith doing what he did. That's all he's got. He's a one trick pony. It's all for shock value. You haven't had a hit in 6 years, and so hey, guess what? I'm non-binary, and now I'm going to walk around in a dress, and I'm fat, and I'm going to dance around like I'm Miley Cyrus on a balloon or a wrecking ball. It's disgusting. I won't let my kids watch it. I won't let my kids listen to it, and I think a lot of people are starting to be that way. So it's just Hollywood, in the music industry. It is just in the worst position morally.
So let me take it to just another level, because you guys have opened my mind up to
Can I say something?
extraterrestrials, all these other things in the universe. I mean, to where now I'm spending my days off, researching this stuff. You said it yourself, and I'm kind of believing it now. These entertainers hit a crossroads, and they come to a place where they make a decision. Do you want to be famous and rich and popular and be the 1% of the entertainment industry? If you do, you need to sell your soul to this devil, and it's called the Illuminati, and you've got to be a part of this. And because if not, then it's not going to happen.
Further than that,
You're not gonna do it. And so now I go and I'm thinking, man, I remember back when in Elvis, the Elvis days, people were like, "Oh, you listen to this, and it's horrible, it's bad," and all these Bible beaters are against it. And then you go even further when heavy metal started getting heavy and big, and people were like, "Oh no, if you play the records backwards, you can hear the devil saying stuff." And now we're here with the Illuminati, going, "Hey." I mean, do you believe that is what's going on? Go ahead, J Love. You're chomping at the bit.
well, yeah. I mean, first one, I mean, Beyonce hadn't had a hit in over a decade. One, because she doesn't write her own shit. So that goes back to her fucking songwriters. But that whole show is just ridiculous. Two, you talked about Elvis. Elvis sold his soul too. Elvis sold his soul a long time ago, and this is between me and whoever's listening and whoever's on the show or whatever. I've never thought that Elvis is a king of rock and roll. He never was. He just brought it to suburban America and made fucking white girls drip. That's about it. But even beyond that, I think in fact, I know that there's a lot more going on that nobody is talking about. And, even if we shed just a little bit of light with what we do here, and even if we wake up one motherfucker, that's one motherfucker that's no longer in the dark. And it's going to take individuals like us who stand for something, and individuals like us who believe in something, and individuals like us who we take no shit and we give zero fucks. Period.
Yeah, well, we put our fucks where we want them to, and those. Yeah, you're exactly right, Donnie. What do you think, buddy?
No, I mean, it just is what it is. I mean, we can keep pounding that dead horse all day.
The only reason I bring that up is because I do believe this is satanic. I do believe this is going to that next level. I do believe that these people are doing that in order to control and in order to do other things like Russell talked about, pedophilia, child trafficking.
You're just doing what I was talking about earlier. You're just degrading the morals of the country. I mean, anything that you can do to get rid of more morals is good.
And then it's easy because these girls want to look like those women, and the guys want to act like those dudes, and it's crazy.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm glad we all think of that. But hey, I've got something new. J Love, Russell, get ready for this. Donnie's got something special for us here. Go ahead, Donnie.
So it's a game we used to play back when I was in Florida, and it was how many shots. and you would usually, you know, everybody would pick a girl in the bar or in the place we were eating, and then you'd be like, all right, that girl, how many shots is it going to take for you to take her home? So, you know, here's your options, and you got to rate them from best to worst. You have 3 girls, you only have 10 shots.
Oh,
All right. You have
Okay.
Black China. This is from the Grammys because we're talking about the Grammys, so we'll give it some flavor. You have Black China. If you did not see her, she wore this solid black with, like, her face is the only thing that you can see coming out of a bunch of feathers and whatever, but she's got leggings on. She used to be a pretty girl, but then she also went with like super black makeup, eyeshadows that make her face look really weird.
and the eyes.
Yeah, yeah. And then second, you have J-Lo, which I know J-Lo is hot. Like, you know, she's hot. But if you looked at her, she was rough. Like I get it, she's showing the cleavage and everything, but if you look at the her and Ben, she was not happy. She smacked Ben at one point in the chest and told him to sit up straight, and you got to take her home.
Okay.
You know, you gotta have that attitude with it as well. And then the last one is Madonna. And if you didn't see
Good.
Madonna, I think she was imitating the Chinese balloon that went around. Her face was so swollen. I thought she got stung by some bees before she came in. But so distribute
rule
the
is
10 shots.
The rule is you have to screw all 3. It's how many shots
And you
it's
gotta
going to take.
and you gotta know how many shots. You can do them on different days. You got 10 shots. How many shots of each? You know, what are you taking? Distribute your 10 shots.
Okay.
I'll go first.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm gonna spend 1 on J-Lo just because I gotta knock the edge off. It's gonna be something hard. Maybe 151, 191. I don't know. It's gonna be something hard just because I don't need to hear that yapping in my ear. I'm gonna spend 2 on Black China because I can remember what she used to look like recently. And I'm like, okay, she was hot. Maybe if you get all this stuff off of her, it'll be okay. And then the other 7 are going to Madonna, and it may not be enough. I may vomit halfway through it, you know, and be like, oh, sorry, it's just the alcohol. No, it was your face.
Wow. Okay. Russell, go ahead. You got an idea what you're doing?
This is easy for me. So J-Lo, I don't need anything. I can get through that. That's why you can choke her, you can pull her hair, smack her around a little bit. It'll be fine. We can get through that.
Wow.
Block. We can get her in the shower. We can wipe that off. We'll be fine. We'll turn the lights off. I can get through that. I don't need a shot for that. I need all 10 shots of Everclear because I want Everclear, 100 proof, fucking blackout drunk.
91.
Yeah.
White lightning.
I gotta have every bit of ammunition that I can have to get through that. So it'd be like that scene from what's the bowling movie with the guy landlord, Woody Harrelson,
Kingpin.
Kingpin, yeah, where he's got a. That's me. I'm vomiting. She's so disgusting, and she's been with more dudes. It'd be like fucking throwing a hot dog through an airport terminal. I mean, good God. So yeah, I need all 10 shots for Madonna.
Damn, it used to be a fucking hot dog through a hallway, but
Wow. Okay.
of course, I think I'm kind of along the lines with Russ on this. 0 for J-Lo. It's a Latin thing, but what was her name? Black China? Is that her name?
Yes.
Black.
Yes.
Block.
I have no fucking clue who that is. So I mean, she could just sit back and watch for all I care. I give 2 shits or 0 fucks about that bitch, and it's definitely going to take all 10 on Madonna. And the funny thing, I just literally night before last, I watched A League of Their Own.
She was gorgeous.
I watched that movie. I mean, she wasn't exactly a a major standout in that movie, but at the same time, I'm like, and I look at her now, and I'm like, this is not the same person. And this is definitely it has nothing to do with plastic surgery. This is definitely not the same person. Just as what we see posted up in front of us, propped up, I should say, in front of us in regards to the whole paper president. That's not our president. Sorry.
So, yeah. So I'm gonna play. I'm gonna play by the. I'm gonna play by the. I'm gonna go by the rules here, Donnie, because I love this game. You have to take a shot. Okay, so I'm gonna take a shot for J
Yeah.
Lo. J Lo, obviously. Okay, because that's a no brainer right there. And again, I'm gonna go to my buddy. I'm gonna go to my buddy Tom, and I'm gonna get jalapeno moonshine. That's what I'll be drinking. That's what I'm gonna take shots of. Jalapeno moonshine, um, which is phenomenal. So I'm gonna take one shot for J Lo. Then the black china, I'm gonna take two, and that way, because we can. I mean, we didn't say how we had to do it, but I'm just picturing her in that outfit. You can just turn it around, turn the lights off. You don't even know that she's there unless she smiles. So I'm gonna go from the backside, and go to town, and then the rest is definitely. And I'm gonna take them in segments. Okay, I'm gonna take, what is it? So I got seven left. Yeah, I'm gonna take seven. I'm gonna take the first three, and I'm gonna spit them in the crotch of Madonna to make sure it's all clean, and it kills everything that's there. And then I'm gonna drink the rest of them, and then I'll go to town on Madonna. And that's kind of how I would do that.
Wow.
'Cause I don't know. I mean, you guys are trusting that. I'm not. I'm gonna go ahead and clean it up a little bit.
That's
Huh?
probably the about it. That was actually pretty good.
That's. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do.
I think Free going to get everything out of there, bud. I mean, I'm
Huh?
sorry. You're going to get something.
It's like it's not gonna help.
Not
Well, I mean,
enough.
it'll help a little bit. If nothing else, it'll numb me up. So, you
Oh
know,
no, you
or if
might
I
need
might spit it on myself. I don't know.
an exorcism off in that bitch.
Right.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Um, let's see. Yeah, we got a little time left. So I know we've talked about it over and over again, but I got to bring it up, and I know it was a while back, but Neurolink. This has got my head spinning.
Yeah, you listen to the Elon podcast.
Yes, and then I went back and read other stuff. This Neuralink can end up being. It's to the point where I'm thinking right now, we could be in a dream right now, and we are living 2,000 years ahead of us right now, a million years, and we're just having a dream of what went on right now. Now, for us, it seems like forever, but in a dream, it's like this, right?
Right.
Anyway, this Neuralink is amazing. I just think it's amazing the way this guy thinks and what's going on. And of course, he's doing this for people like paraplegics, people with that have epileptic seizures and stuff like that. But I just think that is so amazing, to where he basically told Rogan, he goes, yeah, it's like putting your Apple Watch in your head wherever you need it to help you fix whatever it is. Rogan goes, oh, so it's kind of like the $6 million man? He goes, yeah, more like the $6 billion man. Because we're going to be able to take a quadriplegic, not only fix him, but over time, he's going to get better, faster, stronger, all this other stuff. Dude, it's got my mind all fucked up, bud. I was up till 3 a.m. last night. Like, really just crazy. Donnie, I know, Donnie, you love that kind of shit. and you've known this forever. I just found out about it. What do you think about all that?
I mean, it's biggest drawback is the programming, because it has to have so much programming involved in it. But if you're looking at AI enhancements in Chat GPT, we're not that far.
We're not.
I mean,
we're already there
people
with our phone and our computers.
yeah, and people are going crazy because Chat GPT has opened their eyes to so many things. And you got to understand, this is 3.5. 4.0 comes out later this year, and the leap between 3.5 and 4.0 is drastic. Drastic is what they say. In fact, when the head of this consortium, and I can't remember his name, he came out and he was like, yeah, I'm really surprised that people are that impressed with 3.5. Like, it's not that good. It's really just pulling data from Wikipedia and other websites. It hasn't really started thinking for itself yet, like 4.0 does. And I'm like, oh boy, that's not good. Like, that's a bad thing. So yeah, I think honestly, this right here, you're a cyborg anyway. Like, you are. This is attached to 99% of the people every day.
Yeah.
And they're on it so much. To give you an idea, I was debating this with a guy on Twitter that I know, and he was trying to get me to make some stupid bet on, how AI can affect the future. I'm like, yeah, you're dumb. Like, the explosion of the cell phone in the last 6 years is incredible. We went from in 03, there were less than 1 million cell phones. In 13, there were more than 1 billion, or more than 400 million. In 18,
yeah, it's going to happen. The numbers don't matter, but yeah, it's going to happen.
But in 18, there were more than 1 billion.
Yeah,
now there's
such
more
a
than
short time.
7 billion cell phones. That means 91% of the globe has a cell phone. 91%.
Yeah.
Now, sure, some people have 2, some people have 5, whatever. But there are 91%. There's 7.4 billion active cell phone lines. That's insane.
Yeah.
Like, that is global dominance. So yeah, I mean, you're already a cyborg anyway, because you're using it for so much more than it was ever designed for. It was designed to call somebody. That was it. And now it's literally your gateway that you use to post on social media and look up information and read news. And I mean, it's a media tool.
Yeah. Well, nowadays kids don't have to learn how to write in cursive. Kids don't have to buy the $80 calculator the way we do.
No, it's all there.
It's all on your phone.
And now
this is going to happen.
The next step is to take this thing, turn it sideways, and, well, you can't see it, but turn it sideways and put it in your head. Beep, right in your head.
Well, that's basically what he's saying. Russell, what do you think about all this talk?
I just keep having one thought. We're talking about being able to repair a paraplegic. We've got all this amazing technology, healing the blind, all kinds of stuff that they're talking about being able to do. And we can't see fucking Lizzo flying a Cessna. I mean,
Jesus,
I don't understand. Like, really? You got all this technology, all this brilliance, all this technological wonders. Elon Musk is a genius. I mean, he's
yeah, for him not to give a shit about the balloon and all that other stuff, it tells you something. J-Love, what do you think? What do you think about what I just said?
All geniuses are brilliant. I'll give them that. I mean, but they all have their downfall somewhere. I've never trusted Elon, and I still don't. I think that there's a lot of hidden layers that we don't see. I mean, there's a lot going on in Travis County right now in Austin, Texas. No,
but the question is, what do you think about me putting an Apple, like your Apple Watch? We're going to drill a hole, a 1 inch in diameter hole in your skull, put this computer in your skull, and put these wires in there that will send electrical impulses to fix whatever's wrong with you, or to give you memory, make you smarter, make you stronger, faster, whatever. What do you think about that technology? You think it'll happen? You think it won't? You think it's bull? I mean, what do you think?
I think it'll eventually happen. To the demise of the actual human body. Like Donnie said, we are all cyborgs, to one extent or the other. And I think that along the lines of big pharma, this, that, and the other, it's all a money game. He's just he. I can't say he's another version of Bill Gates because that motherfucker is beyond evil. I think Elon's there. Um, I,
Yeah, I
you know,
mean, yeah, it's a money game. I get it. Because I was talking to somebody today. I'm like, you guys, you remember when I was in high school? I didn't have a fucking cell phone. There wasn't one
Me-
in school. There was one guy in the late '80s had one, and then all of a sudden somebody came out. My buddy's now father-in-law bought him so many stocks in Dell. And everybody's like, what the fuck is Dell? What the fuck is that? That's bullshit. That's bullshit. Now look at it. And
yeah,
now look at your phone. And now you guys are talking. Some of you guys, Russell, I know for a fact, he talks into his fucking phone. He
yeah.
talks into his fucking. I mean, the technological evolution is. I can see it. It's got to happen.
Well, keep in mind that also you just mentioned Dell, but I mean they're laying off over 12,000 employees. So
Yeah, but what I'm talking about is the technology that came out from the '80s to now. These
Yeah.
things
know,
that's my thing. This thing is gonna happen. Now he's talking about within the next 5 or 10 years, we're gonna have people with these chips in their heads.
I think it'll be longer than that.
Because
Um,
he said himself, he goes, your brain has more storage than any iCloud anywhere. Because we don't use our brain, maybe what, 8-10% of it, Donnie? If that.
Maximum they think is 11.
Yeah, something like that. Your brain has more storage in it than anything else. So in your phone, right? You want to go recreate a memory, you look at the picture or the video. It doesn't it doesn't do the emotions of what happened, but you remember it. Imagine putting that in your head and being able to go back and recreate that emotion along with the video. Like that's what this guy is talking about,
yeah,
getting to that fucking point.
well, Bill Gates kind of said the same thing way back in the 80s, early 90s, whatever it was, with the whole Microsoft thing. About the whole Microsoft Windows thing, and suddenly he developed a virus that was in the computer. And, well, the only way that you can get rid of it is if you give me money. So it's a money thing.
No, yeah, of course it's going to be. But
I,
the question is, do you
I,
think it's going to happen?
I think eventually over time that the truth will come to light, and I hate to say it, but I don't think that Elon is as what's the word I'm looking for? I don't think that Elon is as majestic as everyone plays him out to be.
Okay, fair enough. Russell, do you think I'm full of shit?
No, I do think it's going to happen at some point. Now, the fine line is when you get to that level of technology, and you're talking about a machine becoming self-aware. That's very dangerous. So, I do think we'll get there. I think the sky's the limit on what we're able to do, and the fact that we haven't even tapped into the human brain only up to 11%,
Right.
and then yes, I think it's possible. I don't think we'll see it in the next 5 years, but I do think it's going to happen. Yes.
So here's the thing, Donnie, and again, I know it was in 2019 or whatever, but all the research, element 115, that's what Bob was working on in that saucer when he was working in Area 51. He came up with this element 115, and now they put it on the periodic table of elements. I think they did that in what, 03 or something like that. They put it on,
so
on the,
he
but,
announced it.
if you have things like that, and this is where I'm getting at, things like that, there's got to be more that they know that we don't. I don't know. It's just, go ahead, Donnie.
No, I mean, you're right. He went public because he thought he was getting fired. I mean, he
Well, he
did.
also thought it was wrong that we didn't know about it.
Well, that's not why he went public. So he actually went public because he thought he was getting fired or killed. He thought he had seen something. He went a little crazy. He had no idea that his wife was cheating on him, and they were just doing the due diligence of putting him on a leave until he got his life straightened out. So in 1990, when all this started going down, he's like, I'm gonna get axed.
Yeah.
I'm going to make sure that if I get axed, everybody knows. So he took some friends out to the base and showed them, flight paths of what he says are extraterrestrial vehicles. And
he did what we would all do, Donnie. He did what we would all do.
Oh yeah, he called some friends. Go out there, hey, y'all, come watch this.
Go out there 2 times and watch it. The 3rd time, he took a fucking mobile home out there, and they were fucking partying, watching.
Oh yeah, they're ready.
They
were ready for him because they were listening to his phones, and he didn't know that.
Yeah.
But he described Moscovium, element 115, described how dense it was, how heavy it was. So this is 1990. Gave it the correct properties because it is on the periodic table. And he was like, the weight is 288 and the physical state at 20 degrees is this. And, here's the electron configuration. He had all of that. And he was like, we can't recreate this. We need some sort of super dense material or a double binary star that could create that heavy of an element. So then in 2003, in this little place called Moscow, at one of the super colliders, they recreated Moscovium. They were able to create it for like 0.1 second or something like that. But they could measure it, they could see it, they could get it stable for that long. And then, a lot of other things have happened since then. But yeah, I mean, how many things are like that we do not know?
Yeah.
I mean,
I guess that's what I don't want to lose the people that are listening or you.
There's a open-ended question that, I can talk, how many things we don't know is vast.
Here's the thing. I don't want to lose anybody. The question was the Neurolink and how far will it go? How far can it go? How far is it going to go? Because of like stuff also like what Bob found that there's got to be a ton of stuff that.
Yeah, I mean, I think Neuralink
books and books that we don't know about. So I think the possibilities are endless, I think.
Yeah, I mean, Neuralink is probably already a lot more advanced than we think it is. Yeah. I think they've probably got, I would say, anywhere from 60 to 70% of the linkage part done, meaning how it wires into the brain and how it, controls different things, because we've got people that can use robotic arms and move fingers just by thinking about it. So we're close there. The big thing now is getting the AI to learn properly and how to adjust it, because you don't want it to have to go through you don't want to have to go back in and plug yourself into a wall outlet every time it needs an update.
Let me ask you guys this. You listen to all this stuff, and I don't know if you like it or not, but it's very intriguing to me. J-Love, do you want to be around to see something like that? Like, because Elon said we can get to a point where we don't even have to talk anymore. We can just look at each other, and you know what I'm saying, and I know what you're saying,
and
we're no longer. Yeah,
in something like that, I mean, that takes away from complete human interaction completely.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're talking about just standing there and you hear all that love story bullshit about, oh man, I could hear what you're thinking and all this. You know what, there's a lot more substance at the end of the day. I mean, man and a
So
woman.
we've already started with that, J-Love, with the telephone. We talked about in past where you see
Uh-huh.
couples at dinner and they're on their phone, or we're at a bar and 9 out of 10 people are on their phone. Uh, Russell, do you want to be around and watch and see this happen? Or would you rather just not see this kind of stuff happen, this Neuralink?
Hell yeah, I want to see it. I want to be around for it. I mean, the next thing is, basically you can make it to where it can extend your life, and hell yeah, who wouldn't want to be around to see all that shit? I think it's cool as hell. But
Well, yeah, I mean, Elon went it was as far as, you die, your body dies, but because you have this computer,
brain,
your brain is still functioning.
right? Hell yeah, yeah. I mean, why not? Why wouldn't you want to meet your great grandchildren and talk to them and see what's going on? And history is written word. What if it's word of mouth in the future? How cool would that be? Yeah, I'd love to see that. Just if they could just figure out how my brain and my dick could work, I think I'd be cool with it too.
Yeah, but there's a lot of stuff in between that fucking causes that not to happen.
Right.
Donnie, you want to be around to watch this, to see this?
I think so. And I don't, my big thing is I don't think I got a choice. Like, I think this thing has exploded
Exactly.
so fast, and the tech industry has reached terminal velocity. I don't think we've got a choice. I think, Elon's like, oh, it'll be here, in 5 to 10 years. I think it's probably closer to 2 to 3. Because one thing that, and he'll tell you this, technology increases exponentially. And it's hard to say, here's the thing, like 4.0 of Chat GPT is coming out later this year. Who takes that and runs with it and changes it to a weapon, just by some code changes? So, you're exponentially increasing technology daily. I mean, just think of it in the last 10 years. What was your internet speeds 10 years ago?
Yeah.
I mean, were you on dial up?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you had,
Ding, 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 ding.
yeah, maybe you had cable. Maybe you had cable and you got like 1 megabyte a second. And now I'm getting a gigabyte a second, so it's 1,000 times
Yeah, and
faster.
then if he said if you use your brain, you're talking about terabytes that you can't even count right now. I mean, what can happen? And they don't, again, they don't know. This is all still, in the works. But I mean, the things that could happen is amazing. And this is, again, what's opening my eyes to.
Yeah. So the question was, do I want to be around? I don't think I got a choice.
Yeah. I do want to be around, but I just want to be around for a little bit to see it. And then just, all right, you guys, that's, y'all can have the rest of it.
I think the group sitting here is part of the last true humans, 100% humans that we'll see. Because I expect my kids to be linked in.
Yeah.
I don't know that all 4 of them will. My oldest may not. Congratulations to her. She's buying her first rental property tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
But I think the other 3 will definitely be linked in. So
yeah. Cool beans. Well, guys, y'all got anything else you want to share off the cuff? If not, let's go to leaving these people with something positive or something funny.
Positive, like I said, I'll go with my daughter buying her first rental. She listened to me. She's heard everything that I say on this podcast. She's probably heard before. I mean, all my jokes, all my stories, all my rants, all my podium beating, chest thumping, whatever. And she listened. I didn't have anybody like that to teach me when I was growing up, and say, hey, instead of buying a house that you're going to live in, buy a rental property, stay in one, rent out the other 2. If it's a triplex, if it's a duplex, stay in one, rent the other. You get a better deal on it. And she did. She listened and she did it. So kids out there,
congratulations, buddy.
listens to your parents. Sometimes they're smart. Don't, I'm not
Congratulations,
saying
Donnie.
listen to them all the time. If your mom's a crackhead, probably don't.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, congratulations, Donnie. I'm happy for you, man. I'm happy for her. Keep us in the loop. Let us know when her next second or third buy is going to come, because I know she's going to keep doing it, huh?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Attaboy. J-Love, what do you got for the people around us?
You know what? I think that you know what I have. It could be, you know, advice for, you know, they say it's, you know, advice for a young man, but I think in, you know, this day and age, it could be for a young woman also. If you're scared of do it scared. Also, don't finish when you're done. The smarter you get, be- falling down is an accident, but staying down, no.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't get easier, you get better.
Attaboy. I like it. Russ?
You know, I think all of us men that have had spouses, you know, how many times have we got bitched at about leaving the toilet seat up and they fall in the water? I say leave it up on purpose. Be a man.
Here we go again.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Yeah. I
Nice.
get, you know, I've been doing different things to try to make myself better. Trying to beat the inner bitch inside of me. And you know, I told you guys that I saw my wife go in there in that ice bath and overcome something that she needed to. And then we sat there and talked about it. And because we were making goals on certain things. I guess what I'm telling you guys, it's okay to make goals and do everything you can to reach them, but live in the journey. That's what's going to make you who you are. And that's what's going to make you, if you do reach that goal or come close to the goal, to enjoy it more, to look back at the journey and what you did, the things that were hard, the things that brought you better. Don't stop and smell the roses. Just slow down a little bit to know that they're there. But enjoy the journey and what you're doing. Enjoy that journey. Get to the goal. Like my old coach always said, shoot for the stars. If you come short, you're going to land on a cloud. Give it everything you got. Gentlemen, thank you guys for another great podcast, Whiskey and Wisdom After Dark. Make sure you go to YouTube, like, share, subscribe to it. It doesn't cost you anything. And then leave a comment. Let us know what you want to talk about. We'd love to hear from you. Guys, thank you. And we will see you next week on Whiskey and Wisdom After Dark. Adios.